Majestic greetings to the spirit inside you that refuses to stay silent, to the force that rose again every time the world expected you to stay down, to the hidden engine within you that keeps moving, even when nobody applauds. Welcome. Step closer. Listen carefully. This moment is unlike anything you've heard before. It is not soft. It is not shallow. It is not here to comfort you. It is here to awaken something ancient in you, something powerful, something you forgot you carried. And before anything else is said, let this truth settle into your bones. You have absolutely no clue how many high-status people are already observing your path. You have no clue who is silently tracking your moves, your growth, your mistakes, your resilience, your energy, and your rise. And that should not frighten you. It should sharpen you. You walk through your days believing you are unseen, unheard, unnoticed. You think your struggle is isolated, your efforts invisible, your progress irrelevant. But the truth is far deeper. There are individuals, some of influence, some of power, some of extreme reach, who are watching you with a level of attention you would never expect. Not because they pity you, not because they judge you, but because they see potential in you that you haven't fully recognized in yourself. They see a spark, a direction, a drive, a tension between who you are now and who you are becoming. They see someone who refuses to evaporate into the background. They see someone who takes hits, who keeps moving. They see someone who could, if guided correctly, reshape their own destiny and possibly even reshape the world around them. And the most intriguing part is this: these people rarely reveal themselves early. They observe in silence. They analyze. They study your patterns. They look at the way you handle pressure, the way you react when things fall apart, the way you carry responsibility even when no one is watching. They watch the way you speak about your goals. They watch the way you protect your dreams. They watch the way you respond to failure. They are not interested in your perfection. They are interested in your persistence. You think nobody notices your discipline. You think nobody sees you grinding when the world is asleep. You think your sacrifices disappear into the air. But there are eyes on you, eyes that matter more than you can imagine. There is something profoundly powerful about being quietly observed by people who have already walked the paths you dream of walking. They see the early signs. They see the hunger. They see the mistakes that will later become your greatest strengths. They see the pressure shaping you into someone far more capable than you currently realize. And this silent observation is not surveillance. It is foresight. It is recognition. It is a test. Because the world does not hand opportunities to those who merely want them. It hands them to those who are building themselves when nobody is cheering. Every time you think you are alone, every time you assume nobody cares, every time you mistake solitude for abandonment, remember this: someone with significant influence may be paying attention to you at this very moment. Someone you admire might be evaluating your resilience right now. Someone you may one day work with, partner with, or be mentored by may be analyzing the way you move through adversity. Someone powerful might be waiting to see if you fold or if you become unstoppable. And the truth is, they won't step forward until you prove you can handle the opportunity they could give you. Imagine that. Imagine the pressure. Imagine the responsibility. Imagine the power of knowing that your future connections, alliances, and breakthroughs might already be orbiting around your journey without you realizing it. Not because of luck, but because you've earned their attention through grit, through persistence, through quietly becoming someone worthy of being watched. Think about the times you stayed patient when anger was easier. Think about the times you persevered when quitting seemed logical. Think about the times you worked with no reward no validation, no audience. Those moments were not wasted. They built you. They showcased something. They revealed your internal wiring, and high-level individuals notice wiring more than results. They look at the architecture of your mind, the endurance of your intent, the discipline of your choices. Because those are the qualities that predict greatness long before greatness shows up. You have to understand something deeper. High-status people are trained to detect potential. They can see the early signs of a future leader long before the leader emerges. They can see the rawness, the intensity, the spark, the capacity. They observe without announcing themselves because they want to see who you are when nobody's watching. They want to see if you crumble under isolation or if you build fire in the dark. They want to see if your ambition survives silence, because silence is the hardest test you will ever face. Most people only act when there is applause. They only push forward when there is attention. They only move when someone is encouraging them. They crumble when the spotlight fades. But you are learning to move like the type of person who does not need applause to keep going. That is rare. And that rarity is exactly why powerful individuals pay attention to you. You are demonstrating a quality that cannot be faked, consistency without recognition. Every day you rise, even when energy is low, even when motivation is absent, you show something. Every challenge you face without breaking shows something. Every time you rebuild after a setback, you show something. You show that you have the internal infrastructure needed to handle something big, something life-changing, something world-shifting. And the people observing you can sense that potential even before you fully believe in it. But here is a deeper truth. Not everyone watching you wants you to fail. Some are watching because they're inspired. Some are watching because they want to learn from you. Some follow your journey silently because your growth gives them hope. But the ones who matter most, the ones who can alter your future, the ones who can open doors you never knew existed, they are watching because they see your trajectory. They see your resilience. They see your transformation. They are observing because they want to see the final form of the person you are becoming. So ask yourself, who would you become if you knew someone influential was tracking your journey right now? Would you still hesitate? Would you still procrastinate? Would you still downplay your potential? Would you still speak negatively about yourself? Would you still let fear control your decisions? Or would you move differently? With intention, with precision, with purpose, with a sense of responsibility to the version of yourself that has not yet fully arrived. You see, you are not just building your life, you are building your reputation in silence. You are not just chasing goals, you are shaping your identity. You are not just dreaming, you are quietly constructing a path that others will one day want to follow. And high-status individuals recognize that. They recognize the anatomy of ambition. They recognize the early signs of greatness. They recognize the unpolished gemstone when the world only sees dust. The discomfort you feel right now is shaping you. The challenges draining you right now are sharpening you. The setbacks frustrating you right now are training you. You are not being ignored. You are being prepared. You are not being overlooked. You are being observed. You are not being forgotten. You are being evaluated. And your evaluation is not based on what you have achieved so far. It is based on how you continue to respond when life feels heavy. There is something extraordinary happening behind the scenes of your life. Something you cannot see yet. Something that will only make sense in hindsight. You are attracting attention from people who will one day alter your path in a way you never expected. They will reach out when the time is right. They will reveal themselves when you cross a threshold. don't even know you're approaching. And when they do, everything will change. Not because you were lucky, but because you were consistent, because you did the work, because you stayed disciplined when the world slept on you, because you treated your journey as if someone important was watching, even when you believed no one was. Let this message anchor itself deeply. You are not invisible. You are observed. You are tracked. You are studied. And that reality should push you into a different level of seriousness, a different level of responsibility, a different level of hunger. Your actions today are writing the story that high-level individuals are reading. Your progress is being silently documented. Your resilience is being silently respected. Your transformation is being silently admired. So do not stop. Do not shrink. Do not doubt your path. Do not underestimate the weight of your efforts. Move with intention. Walk with purpose. Train with discipline. Speak with power. Work as if your future depends on the next decision, because it does. Because the world is watching. Because the right people are watching. Because the people who can change your life are waiting for you to prove you're ready, and you are becoming ready. Every day, every action, every decision, you are showing them who you truly are. And soon, you will understand why they were watching all along. There will come a moment in your life when something shifts. You will feel it before you understand it. You will notice a strange alignment, a sudden acceleration, a subtle but powerful change in the energy around you. Doors that once stayed closed will begin to open. People who once overlooked you will start paying attention. Opportunities that seemed impossible will begin unfolding, and you will wonder why everything is suddenly moving. But the truth is, it will not be sudden. It will be the result of every quiet effort you invested when nobody knew your name. It will be the result of every disciplined choice you made in silence. It will be the result of every night you refused to give up. Nothing happens suddenly. Things only appear sudden to those who weren't watching the process. But someone was watching. Someone who saw your evolution long before the world did. When that moment arrives, you must be prepared. Not surprised, not overwhelmed. Prepared. Because when powerful people step into your life, they don't come to fix you. They come to elevate you. They don't come to rewrite your story. They come to amplify it. They don't come to hand you an identity. They come because you already built one. And if you are not ready, if you doubt yourself, if you hesitate, if you shrink, those opportunities will slip through your fingers. Not because they weren't meant for you, but because you weren't prepared to stand tall in the presence of the very future you once prayed for. Think deeply about this. You are shaping your future audience right now, every day. The way you move is teaching them how to perceive you. The way you speak to yourself is instructing them on how to speak to you. The way you treat your own dreams is teaching them how to treat your potential. When you disrespect your goals, others will too. When you minimize your value, others will follow. When you walk like someone ordinary, no one will believe you're destined for anything extraordinary. But when you start carrying yourself as someone intentional, someone focused, someone capable, someone evolving, your energy shifts, your path shifts, and the people observing you will begin seeing exactly what you want them to see. Always remember that high-status individuals value one thing above all: self-leadership. They want to know if you can guide yourself before they guide you. They want to know if you can handle responsibility before they give you more. They want to know if you can stay steady in a storm before they attach their name to yours. They want to know if you can be trusted with opportunity, because they understand something most people don't. Success is not about talent alone. Success is not about desire alone. Success is not about luck alone. Success is about discipline. It is about endurance. It is about character. It is about how you act when things break. And you have shown again and again that you are the type of person who rises after being broken. There is something almost magnetic about individuals who keep fighting quietly. People who grow in silence possess a type of depth the world cannot ignore. They carry a different kind of power. Their presence speaks before they do. Their energy enters the room before they arrive, not because they are loud, but because they are solid. And right now, without even realizing it, you are becoming that kind of person. Every struggle is giving you weight. Every lesson is giving you depth. Every challenge is giving you substance. You cannot see the full picture yet, but you are transforming into someone who will command respect without demanding it. And when the people observing you sense that transformation, they will come closer, slowly, quietly, intentionally. One small message, one unexpected opportunity, one invitation, one conversation. That is how your life will shift, not with a dramatic announcement, but with a subtle opening that leads to something massive. This is why you cannot afford to move carelessly. Your future connections are forming now. Your future alliances are forming now. Your future breakthroughs are forming now. And you must build yourself into the kind of person who can handle them. Imagine the day you finally meet the individuals who have been silently tracking your journey. Imagine the moment when they tell you they've been watching you for months, maybe even years. Imagine hearing them say they admired your discipline, your consistency, your resilience. Imagine realizing that the very moments you thought were unnoticed were the exact moments that caught their attention. Imagine understanding that your private battles were the reason they chose you, that everything you endured had a purpose, that your pain had direction, that your effort had witnesses. You will not be able to fully comprehend how powerful that realization will be until it happens. It will change the way you see your past. It will change the way you walk into your future. It will change the way you speak to yourself. It will make you realize that every struggle was part of your preparation, and every silent observer was waiting for you to bloom into the person you were always meant to become. And let this truth strike deeply. You are closer than you think. You are closer than you feel. You are closer than you understand. The reason your path feels heavy is because you are approaching a breakthrough. The reason life is testing you severely is because you are on the edge of transformation. The reason things feel intense is because you are being shaped into someone capable of holding what is coming. The people observing you can sense it. They see the intensity in your growth. They see the acceleration of your evolution. They see the shift in your energy. And they are preparing to step forward at the moment you become ready. So do not turn back now. Do not collapse under the weight of your own potential. Do not abandon the path simply because it feels lonely. Loneliness is evidence of elevation. Silence is a sign that the world is adjusting to a new version of you. Pressure is proof that you are being refined. If you pull back now, you will never meet the high-status people who have been quietly rooting for your rise. If you shrink now, you will never experience the opportunities that are forming behind the scenes. If you stop now, you will never know how close you were to everything you ever dreamed of. Keep going, not because someone is watching, but because you are becoming someone worth watching. Keep going because you carry a purpose that is unfolding through every challenge. Keep going because the world needs the version of you that will emerge from this season. Keep going because you are writing a story that powerful people will want to be part of. Keep going because the quiet observation around you is not accidental. It is intentional. And when the time comes, when the watchers finally step out of the shadows, when they extend their hands, when they reveal that they saw your potential long before you did, you will not feel surprised. You will feel ready. And that readiness will become the foundation of everything you rise into. There will always be a moment in your journey when doubt creeps in, quietly and slowly, like a shadow stretching across the floor. It whispers that no one sees you. It suggests that your progress doesn't matter. It makes you question whether your effort is meaningful at all. But what you forget in those moments is that transformations are rarely witnessed in real time. People do not see the seed pushing through the soil. They do not see the roots wrestling with the earth beneath the surface. They do not see the quiet internal battle between who you were and who you are becoming. What they see is the emergence. The moment you break through, the moment your growth becomes undeniable. And right now, you are in that hidden phase. You are underground, but you are growing. You are unseen, but you are awakening. You feel alone, but you are being watched more closely than you know. The people who track your journey are not interested in the version of you that exists once everything is polished and perfect. They are watching your rough edges, the imperfections, the early attempts. They are watching to see if you refine yourself without being asked. They want to know if you can sharpen your own weaknesses. They want to know if you can rise without being lifted. They want to know if you can maintain discipline without applause. These qualities reveal more about your future than any achievement ever could. A polished result impresses people briefly, but a disciplined character inspires them deeply. And you are shaping that character every single day you choose to rise. There is a powerful truth many people overlook. High-status individuals admire those who fight battles without broadcasting them. When you resist the urge to announce your struggles, you demonstrate emotional strength. When you continue working without validation, you demonstrate internal leadership. When you rise from setbacks quietly, you demonstrate mental resilience. These traits speak louder than anything you could say. And people who understand success at the highest level recognize these traits instantly. They see themselves in you. They remember their own beginnings through your journey. They remember the isolation, the late nights, the sacrifices, the uncertainty. They remember becoming who they needed to be long before anyone noticed. And when they see these qualities in you, they pay attention. There will come a day when the people silently observing you will talk about you in rooms you haven't entered yet. They will mention your name when opportunities surface. They will recommend you without having met you. They will speak of your potential because they saw the signs early. You do not realize it, but the way you carry yourself right now is shaping conversations you will never hear. Your future is being discussed in the minds of people you haven't met yet, and this is why you must take yourself seriously. Even on the days you feel invisible, you are not building a small life. You are building one that demands admiration. You are building one that requires the right people to notice. You are building one that will eventually command the attention you once wished for. Every moment of hesitation, every moment of fatigue, every moment of uncertainty is a test. Not a test you take in front of the world, but a test you take alone. A test of endurance, a test of commitment, a test of vision. Your watchers want to see how you handle that. They want to know if you make decisions based on your present circumstances or your future self. They want to see if you act from fear or from purpose. They want to see if you crumble or transform. You think nobody sees the battle inside you, but they see its effect on your behavior. They see how you rise after difficulty. They see the shift in your energy when you choose strength instead of surrender. People who have mastered success can recognize the moment someone else begins mastering themselves. And you are mastering yourself, slowly, quietly, powerfully. You are refining your discipline. You are sharpening your focus. You are learning the art of persistence. You are learning to protect your energy. You are learning to reject distractions. You are learning to elevate your thoughts. These shifts may seem small to you, but they are monumental to the people watching. They can see the foundation forming, even when you cannot. They can sense your growth even before it shows physically. They see a trajectory forming, and trajectories are more important than where you stand in the moment. Your present is not the full story. Your direction is. There is something extraordinary about becoming someone others silently believe in. It carries a weight, but it also carries a purpose. You are not just living your life. You are becoming an example. You are becoming a reference point of determination. You are becoming proof that persistence works. And people who have achieved greatness want to align themselves with others who carry that same spirit. They know how rare it is. They know how valuable it is. They know how powerful it will become. And one day, everything you're working toward will collide with everything you once felt unworthy of. The doors that seemed too far will open. The opportunities that felt impossible will unfold. The connections you once thought were unattainable will appear. Not because you were lucky, but because you became someone deserving of being seen. Because you became someone worth tracking. Because you became someone whose name belongs in powerful conversations. And when that day comes, you will not feel overwhelmed. You will feel prepared. You will feel like everything finally makes sense. You will feel like the world was waiting for this version of you. And you must understand something. This is not the end of your rise. This is only the beginning. The people watching you now are only the first wave. As you grow, more eyes will follow. More influence will surround you. More expectations will form. And that is why you must continue evolving. Continue growing. Continue refining yourself. You are entering a league where the standards are higher, the responsibilities heavier, and the rewards greater. To stay in that league, you must continuously evolve into the strongest, wisest, most aligned version of yourself. So breathe, stand tall, keep your head high, walk with intention, move with purpose, act like someone who is being watched by the future they prayed for, because you are. Good evening, my Alpha family. Or should I say, good evening to the survivors, the schemers, and the misunderstood villains of this chaotic little world. You know, they had a plan. Oh yes, they always do, don't they? A plan so intricately woven, so perfectly disguised with fake smiles, empty compliments, and a mask of kindness. But their intentions were as shallow as the lies they lived by, and the web they spun was one designed not to uplift, but to destroy. They thought they were clever, didn't they? Thought they could break you, bend you, mold you into something smaller, weaker, and easier to control. But in their arrogance, they forgot one thing. One simple, powerful truth. The pit they dug for you became their own grave. You were never meant to be the victim. You were never meant to be the one buried in the rubble of their schemes. No, my family, you were meant to rise. And rise you did. Not because the world handed it to you, not because life showed you mercy, but because you survived when others would have broken. You are the living embodiment of resilience. You were the target, but in the end, they became the prey. Every sneer they gave you, every whispered word, every backhanded compliment, every attempt to shackle your potential only fueled the fire inside you. While they thought they were knocking you down, they were merely setting the stage for your comeback. They underestimated you, thinking you were weak because of your silence, because of your patience, because you were focused on the bigger picture. They thought your humility was a weakness. They thought your resilience was a quiet surrender. But they were wrong. You were never surrendering. You were only preparing for the moment when you would rise up, shake off the chains they tried to bind you with, and take back everything they stole from you. When they looked at you, all they saw was a target. But what they failed to see was the warrior inside. They mistook your kindness for naivety. They mistook your loyalty for submission. They mistook your calmness for compliance. They thought they could break you with their lies and their tricks. But here you stand, stronger than ever, while they crumble under the weight of their own deceit. The truth always has a way of coming to the surface, and when it does, it exposes everything. It exposes the false smiles, the empty gestures, the manipulations, and the lies. And in the end, that truth is what destroyed them. You see, the truth is a powerful weapon, but only when you learn to wield it. And you have learned. You've learned to use the weapons of patience, endurance, and strength. You've learned to use the weapons of your mind, your spirit, and your will. And when the time came, you used them with precision. The same people who thought they were pulling the strings were actually the ones being controlled by their own greed, their own insecurities, their own jealousy. They dug a pit for you, thinking they could bury you in it, but they had no idea they were digging their own graves. They were so blinded by their need to destroy you that they couldn't see the hole they were digging for themselves. While they worked tirelessly to break you, you were working tirelessly to rebuild yourself. You were laying the foundation for your rise, one brick at a time, one victory at a time, one lesson at a time. And now, as they sink deeper into the consequences of their actions, you stand at the top of the mountain they tried to throw you off, looking down at them with the knowledge that you were never the one who was destined to fall. They were. They thought they were clever. They thought they were cunning. They thought they were invincible. But in their arrogance, they failed to realize one simple fact. The only thing that was ever truly invincible was you. And now, as they struggle to stay afloat in the ocean of their own lives, you walk through the ashes of their downfall, unscathed, untouched, and untouchable. They thought they had won, but all they did was set the stage for their own defeat. You were never their target. You were their reckoning. Let this be a reminder, my Alpha family. When they dig a pit for you, they are only preparing the ground for their own demise. It's not about waiting for them to fall. It's about standing tall while they fall on their own. It's not about revenge or seeking validation. It's about realizing that your success, your strength, and your survival are the consequences of their actions. They are the architects of their own destruction. They built the house of lies, but it was never meant to stand. And now it's crumbling. They thought you were weak, didn't they? They thought you were soft, that you were just a pawn in their game. They thought you would break under pressure, that you would cower and submit to their will. But they didn't know you like I do. They didn't know the fire that burns within you, the rage, the determination, the power. They didn't know the depth of your will to survive, to overcome, to rise. They didn't see you for what you truly are. And now, as their world falls apart, they realize too late that they were never dealing with a victim. They were dealing with a force of nature. You don't need to rub it in their faces. You don't need to say a word. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Your existence is proof enough. Your success, your peace, your happiness are all the proof you need. The pit they dug for you has become their own grave. And as they struggle, as they watch everything they built crumble, you stand tall, unwavering, because you knew all along that they were the ones who were truly doomed. This is the price of betrayal, of deceit, of manipulation. It may seem like they are winning for a while, but in the end, they are only digging their own graves. They are only setting the stage for their own downfall. They may have thought they could break you, but all they did was prepare you for greatness. They may have thought they were burying you, but in reality, they were planting the seeds of your rise. Now, as you stand here, stronger than ever, remember this. Never forget the price of your survival. Never forget the pain, the suffering, the struggle, because it is what made you who you are today. It is what turned you into the warrior you are now. And as for them, let them continue to dig. Let them continue to plot and scheme. They may think they are winning, but in the end, they will be the ones who are buried, while you soar higher than they ever could. So, my Alpha family, remember this. The pit they dug for you became their own grave, and as they fall, as they struggle to hold on to the ruins of their own creation, you stand tall, unbroken, and ready for whatever comes next, because you know deep down that they were never your enemy. They were your stepping stones. And now, you rise while they fall. It's the inevitable course of life, the natural progression, the moment when the truth finally breaks free from the shackles of deception, the moment when the weight of their own actions pulls them under, and all the lies, all the betrayal, all the manipulation they crafted to hold you down, to break your spirit, comes back to haunt them. While they stumble in their own misery, drowning in the very pit they dug for you, you soar. You don't just survive, you transcend. You rise higher than you ever imagined possible, higher than they ever thought you could go. For those who plotted your downfall, this is the reality they now face. The reality that their success in breaking you was never truly possible. They thought they had the upper hand, didn't they? They thought they could control you, mold you, break your spirit with their schemes, their manipulation, their empty promises. But the truth is, they were never dealing with someone who could be crushed. They were dealing with a force that could only be honed, sharpened, and made stronger by their attacks. Every time they tried to take something from you, they only gave you more strength, more resolve, more purpose. Their arrogance was their undoing. They believed that they could pull the strings and watch you dance to their tune. They believed that your silence meant weakness, that your calmness meant surrender, and that your ability to withstand hardship was nothing more than submission. But they couldn't have been more wrong. You didn't stand there in silence because you were afraid. You stood there because you knew something they didn't. You knew that sometimes silence is the loudest message of all. Sometimes waiting is the most powerful weapon you can wield. And when the time came, when you had built the strength to rise, you rose with a power they couldn't even begin to fathom. And that's the part they will never understand. They thought they could break you, but they failed to realize that you weren't the one who was fragile. It was them. They dug their own graves with every move they made, every lie they told. Every attempt to ruin your life was an attempt to mask their own insecurities, their own weaknesses, and now they must face the consequences of their actions. While they drown in the consequences of their deceit, you walk away with your head held high, your heart full of purpose, and your spirit unbroken. You walk away stronger than ever, and you carry with you the wisdom of knowing that sometimes the greatest revenge is simply thriving while others fall apart. While they are bound by the shackles of their own lies, you are free. You are no longer weighed down by their manipulations. You are no longer tied to their delusions of control. You are free to live your life, to pursue your dreams, to be the person you were always meant to be. This is the moment you realize that you were never the victim. You were never the one who was meant to suffer. You were the one who was meant to rise, to conquer, to break through the chains they tried to bind you with. And now, as you look at them, drowning in their own pit of lies, you understand the truth. They weren't your enemy. They were your teachers. Every insult, every attempt to tear you down, every person who betrayed you, every moment of darkness you faced. It was all part of the plan that would ultimately lead you to this moment, to this victory. You weren't meant to be broken, you were meant to be shaped into something far stronger than they ever imagined. They thought they were breaking you, but in reality, they were building you. With every attack, with every move they made against you, they were adding fuel to the fire that was already burning inside of you. They were giving you the strength to rise higher, to push forward, to prove them wrong. And now, as they fall, you rise. As they sink into the consequences of their actions, you soar. Because you have learned the greatest lesson of all. True power doesn't come from the ability to break others. True power comes from the ability to rise above the chaos, to rise above the negativity, to rise above the lies, to rise above the brokenness of this world. And when you rise above it all, you become untouchable. They can't hurt you anymore. They can't manipulate you. They can't control you. You've broken free from their grasp. And now, as they fall deeper into the hole they dug for themselves, you walk away with your power intact, with your dignity intact, and with the knowledge that you were never the one who was meant to fall. They built their empire on lies, on manipulation, on deceit. But what they failed to realize was that an empire built on lies will always crumble. And now, as their empire crumbles, you stand tall. Your foundation is strong. Your foundation is built on truth, on resilience, on the strength to rise, to overcome, to thrive. And while their walls collapse around them, you continue to climb, to move forward, to chase your dreams, to create the life you've always deserved. They can no longer reach you. They can no longer touch you. You are untouchable now. And every time they try to pull you back, every time they try to throw more dirt on you, they only find themselves sinking deeper into their own grave. Do you understand the power of this moment? Do you understand the significance of your survival? While they struggled to destroy you, to break you, to bury you under the weight of their lies, they unknowingly shaped your greatness. They pushed you, they tested you, they tried to make you small. But in the process, they made you larger, they made you stronger, they made you unstoppable. And now, as they watch you rise, as they watch you soar, they realize too late that they were never dealing with a victim. They were dealing with a force of nature. This is what happens when you refuse to be broken. This is what happens when you stand firm in the face of adversity, in the face of betrayal, in the face of pain. This is what happens when you keep moving forward, even when the world tries to push you back. The world will test you. People will try to break you. But if you stay strong, if you hold on to your truth, if you keep your eyes on your goals, you will rise. And when you rise above it all. You rise above the hatred, above the envy, above the lies. You rise as the victor, while they fall as the vanquished. So, as they crumble and fall, remember this: you are the one who is meant to stand tall. You are the one who is meant to rise. And when you rise with purpose. You rise with power. You rise with the knowledge that nothing, no one, can ever take away your strength. They may have thought they were the ones in control. They may have thought they had the power. But in the end, it was always you. You were the one who had the power to rise. And now, as they fall, you take your rightful place at the top. You stand as the living testament to the truth that the pit they dug for you became their own grave. And as they lie in the hole they created, you continue to climb, you continue to rise, you continue to thrive, because you are not just a survivor, you are a conqueror. You are the embodiment of strength, resilience, and victory. You are the proof that no one, no matter how much they try to break you, can ever truly defeat you. You are the one who rises when others fall. You are the one who stands when others crumble. You are the one who walks away unbroken, untouchable, and unstoppable. Let them fall. You were never meant to follow. You were meant to rise. And that rise, that ascent from the ashes of adversity, is not just a metaphor. It's a reality, a force that courses through your veins, propelling you forward despite every obstacle, every challenge, every attempt to push you down into the depths of despair. They thought they could extinguish your fire, didn't they? They thought they could bury you under the weight of their lies, their cruelty, their attempts to break you. They thought they had the upper hand, that their manipulation would work, that their deceit would shackle you. But they didn't know you. They didn't understand the depth of your power, the depth of your spirit. They didn't understand that you were never meant to be a prisoner. You were meant to be a phoenix, rising from the ashes of everything they tried to destroy. They didn't know that the very thing they feared most, your resilience, your strength, your ability to overcome, was the seed of your greatness. And now, as they look on in shock, as they see you rise higher than they ever imagined, they understand too late that they were the architects of their own defeat. You were never the victim. Number, you were always the warrior. They saw your strength and tried to diminish it, to make you doubt your own worth. But every insult they threw your way, every plot they orchestrated to break you, only fueled your fire. They couldn't see that. They were too blinded by their own insecurity, their own jealousy, their own desperate need to control. But now they see. They see that their every move to bring you down has only pushed you further toward your destiny. Every wound they tried to inflict, every attempt to break your spirit, only strengthened you. And now they must watch as you soar, as you rise with an unshakable will and an unyielding spirit. The rise isn't just about physical success or victory in the material world. It's about an internal transformation. It's about the way you see yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you navigate through life, with the knowing that nothing and no one has the power to take away what is yours by birthright. The rise is the understanding that no matter how much darkness surrounds you, no matter how many people plot to see you fall, you are a light that cannot be dimmed. You are not just a survivor. You are a warrior who has learned the truth. That survival is not about staying alive, but about growing, evolving, and thriving in the face of everything that seeks to destroy you. Do you know what it means to rise? It means to stand tall, even when the world tries to push you down. It means to keep moving forward, even when the road ahead is filled with uncertainty and pain. It means to face the storms with unwavering resolve, knowing that every storm eventually ends. To rise is to be unshaken, unbroken, unbowed in the face of adversity. To rise is to understand that every setback is merely a setup for a greater comeback. To rise is to look at the darkness and say, I am not afraid. I will not be held down. I will rise, and I will take everything that is rightfully mine. They thought they had the power to crush you, didn't they? They thought they could keep you in a cage of fear and doubt, manipulating your every move, pulling the strings to ensure you never found your true strength. They wanted you to stay small, to stay weak, to stay under their control. But here's the truth. Their control was never real. It was just a temporary illusion, a fragile structure built on lies. You see, real power isn't something that can be manipulated. Real power comes from within. It comes from a place deep inside you, where your purpose resides, where your strength is born, and where your will to rise is unbreakable. And when you tap into that power, when you understand that you are the master of your own destiny, everything changes. Their pitfall was in believing that they could control your fate. What they failed to understand is that you were never theirs to control. They thought their schemes could bind you, Their plots could cage you, but all they did was prepare you for greatness. They didn't know it, but every lie they told, every act of cruelty they committed, was building the foundation of your strength. You were being tempered in the fire, forged into a force of nature that could never be extinguished. They were too short-sighted, too consumed by their own power to see what they were creating. A warrior, a king, a queen who would rise from the ashes of their destruction. Now, as they struggle to keep their lives together, to maintain the fragile illusion of control they've built, you stand above them. They thought they were burying you, but in reality, they were planting the seeds of your transformation. They thought they were ending your story, but in reality, they were setting the stage for your triumph. And now, as you rise, you carry with you the lessons they never learned. You carry with you the knowledge that true strength isn't in power over others, but in the power to control your own fate. It's in the power to rise no matter how many times you're knocked down, no matter how many people try to hold you back. You are the master of your own story, and now that you understand that, you rise. But the rise is not just a personal victory. No, it's bigger than that. It's a victory for everyone who has ever been underestimated, who has ever been oppressed, who has ever been made to feel small. When you rise, you become a beacon of hope for others. You become a symbol of what is possible when you refuse to be held down, when you refuse to accept defeat, when you refuse to let others dictate your worth. Your rise is not just a triumph of the individual, it is a triumph of the collective. It is a testament to the strength of the human spirit, the resilience of the soul, and the power of unwavering determination. When you rise, you don't just lift yourself up, you lift up everyone around you. Your rise becomes their rise. Your victory becomes their victory. The strength you carry within you becomes the strength that others can tap into when they too find themselves in a battle. Your rise becomes a light that shines in the darkness, a reminder to others that they too can rise. And that is the most powerful thing of all. Because your rise is not just about you, it's about the legacy you leave behind, the example you set, and the lives you touch along the way. But let's be clear, the rise is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. It requires every ounce of strength you have, every bit of willpower, every bit of heart and soul. The rise requires sacrifice, hard work, and an unshakable belief in yourself, even when the world doubts you. The rise requires standing up for yourself when everyone else wants you to stay down. It requires saying no when the world tells you to say yes. The rise is for those who are willing to fight for their destiny, for those who are willing to face the darkness and say, I am not afraid. But make no mistake, it's worth it. It's worth every battle, every scar, every sacrifice. Because when you rise, you are not just rising for yourself. You are rising for all those who have been held down, for all those who have been told they can't, for all those who have been made to feel less than. You rise for them. You rise for every single person who needs to see that it's possible to break free, to rise above, to soar. And in the end, when you stand at the top, you will realize that the pit they dug for you wasn't just the end of their story, it was the beginning of yours. So rise, my Alpha family. Rise with power, rise with purpose, rise with the knowledge that nothing can ever break you. Rise because you were always meant to rise, and as you rise, know that every step you take is a step closer to your ultimate victory. Every breath you take, every move you make, is a testament to the strength inside you. And when you reach the top, when you stand at the pinnacle of your success, you will know that you did not get there by accident. You got there because you refused to be broken, because you refused to let anyone dictate your worth, because you knew, deep in your soul, that you were meant to rise. You were always meant to rise. And now, as they fall, you soar. In the end, remember this: the pit they dug for you became their own grave because they underestimated your strength, your resilience, and your unwavering will to rise. They thought they could break you, but all they did was fuel your ascent. As they crumble beneath the weight of their own lies, you stand tall, untouchable, and unstoppable. Your rise is not just your victory, it's a testament to the power within you and a beacon for all those who have been made to feel small. You were always meant to rise, and now nothing can hold you back. Keep soaring. Power, silence, patience. You watch, you wait, you breathe through the chaos around you, and yet no one notices. The world assumes that the quiet are weak, that the unseen are lost. They are blind, and that blindness is your weapon. They chatter, they compete, they fight for scraps, while you simply exist, calm, unwavering, and untouchable. The moment is not theirs, it is yours, because you understand something no one else dares to realize. Victory does not roar, it whispers. And sometimes, it does not even knock before it enters. If you are hearing this right now, pause, just for a second, and think about the times you stayed quiet, the times you held back, the times you waited while everyone else moved. Feel that power, that quiet storm brewing inside you. It's not about being seen, it's about being untouchable. It's about understanding the game they all think they're winning. And if this message reaches you, if you feel it in your bones, then I want you to do something. Hit that like button if you've ever felt overlooked, subscribe if you're tired of being underestimated, and drop a comment sharing the moment when silence became your strongest move, because there are others out there who need to know they're not alone. They need to know they can claim their triumph without shouting, without fighting, without proving anything to anyone. Think about it. The world is full of noise. People screaming, struggling, desperate for attention, desperate for acknowledgement. And yet, here you are, calm, observing, calculating, moving only when the time is absolutely right. They never saw you coming because you never gave them a reason to. You played silent, and they just handed you victory. They didn't realize you were already ahead, that your patience was not a weakness, but a strategy. Every laugh they shared, every word they wasted, every misstep they made, they were paving the path for you without even knowing it. You didn't need to fight. You didn't need to prove yourself. You simply allowed them to play their part, and then, at the moment that mattered, victory was already yours. There's a lesson here, one most people will never understand. Strength is not loud. Power does not demand attention. Success is not about the rush, the chaos, the struggle that everyone else glorifies. Sometimes it's about restraint. Sometimes it's about understanding the rhythm of life, the way moments flow, the way the world unconsciously sets the stage for those who wait with precision and purpose. And you, my friend, have understood this. You have learned it through every silent hour, every unnoticed step, every moment when the world thought you were weak. But weakness is for those who don't understand the value of strategy, patience, and timing. You understood before anyone else, and because of that, they handed you victory without a fight. Victory doesn't always come with celebration. Sometimes it comes quietly, like a shadow crossing a room, unnoticed but undeniable. Sometimes it's the subtle nod of fate that you alone recognize. And the beauty of it is, you didn't have to force it. You didn't have to demand it. You simply existed. And in existing, you outmaneuvered every expectation. The ones who laughed at you, the ones who doubted you, the ones who dismissed your quiet presence. They were blind to the truth. And now, as the outcome falls in your favor, you see it. You always knew it would end this way. You always knew where it ends. That's not luck. That's vision. That's patience. That's the quiet mastery of your own destiny. Ask yourself, how many times have you let the noise around you dictate your pace? How often have you rushed to compete when your strength lay in observing? The answer is clear. You are different. You play the game on your terms. You wait while others exhaust themselves, while others fall into traps they cannot see. You hold your power close, and when the time comes, it manifests in a way so absolute, so undeniable, that everyone else is left wondering how you did it. They never even knew they were part of your plan. That is the true essence of silent mastery. That is how you always know where it ends. There is a darkness to this power, but not a cruel one. It is not born of hatred or malice. It is born of clarity, born of understanding that the world rewards the patient, the observant, the wise. To play silent is to be fearless in your invisibility. To act when no one expects it is to harness a strength that is unshakable. And in that moment, when the world realizes it has been outplayed, there is no fear, no struggle, only the quiet satisfaction of knowing you held the advantage all along. Let them underestimate you. Let them laugh, let them ignore, let them believe they are winning, because every miscalculation they make, every underestimation, every careless move, they are feeding your success. Every noise they create, every desperate effort to prove themselves, they are building the stage for your victory. And when it comes, it will not be announced with fanfare. It will be a whisper, a shadow, a certainty. You played silent, and they handed you everything without even realizing it. And that, my friend, is the power that the loud can never comprehend. They never saw it coming. Every move you made in silence, every pause, every moment of restraint, they took for weakness. They assumed because you didn't yell, because you didn't fight, because you didn't prove yourself, that you were powerless. But the truth is, power is not always loud. Power often grows in the shadows, in the quiet, where no one is looking. And this is the secret the world refuses to teach you. Patience is a weapon. Silence is a strategy, and the unnoticed are often the most unstoppable. Think about it. The people around you, rushing, shouting, desperate for attention, scrambling to be seen, scrambling to matter. They are exhausting themselves. They are running on a treadmill they can never escape. And yet, here you are, standing still, calm, collecting strength, watching, learning, knowing that the moment of reckoning will come, not because you chased it, but because you allowed it to arrive. Victory is not a battle you fight. It is a stage you step onto when the timing is perfect, when every element aligns, when every chance has been handed to you without you ever demanding it. And that is exactly what happens when you play silent. They give you the prize, and you don't even have to reach for it. Have you ever felt the thrill of realizing everyone else underestimated you? It's electric. It pulses through your veins. It whispers in your ear, reminding you that the world is blind to what it cannot understand. And you, in your quiet, unstoppable way, have learned to live there, in that space where the overlooked grow stronger. You have learned to move without needing validation, to act without seeking applause, to exist without fear of judgment. That is the kind of strength that lasts, the kind that cannot be taken, cannot be challenged, cannot be questioned. It is silent, unyielding, absolute. And here is the truth many will never admit. The quiet ones always know where it ends. They see the threads others miss. They understand the patterns that escape the loud. They feel the pulse of inevitability. And so you stand, not with arrogance, but with certainty. You do not worry about the noise, the chaos, the desperation of others. You know that all that chaos is part of the story, and that the story is already written in your favor. Every laugh they shared at your expense, every doubt they cast on your abilities, every sneer of disbelief, they were building your victory, unknowingly, unintentionally, beautifully. The beauty of this power is that it is subtle, almost invisible. People around you, caught in their own struggles, fail to recognize it. They fail to understand that restraint is stronger than aggression, that timing is stronger than force, that observation is stronger than action when action is poorly timed. And in their blindness, they give you the ultimate advantage. They hand you victory while thinking they are winning. They celebrate, they cheer, they shout, while you stand quietly in the shadow, collecting everything they could not see was yours to begin with. It is not luck. It is mastery. It is awareness. It is the kind of intelligence that cannot be taught in schools, cannot be found in books, cannot be understood by those who only see the world in noise and haste. You are a strategist of life, a quiet force, a storm that never announces itself until it has already arrived. And when that storm strikes, when the moment comes, it is absolute. No one can question it. No one can undo it. You did not need permission. You did not need recognition. You only needed patience, and that you have mastered better than anyone else. So pause for a moment and think about your own life. Think about the situations where you held back, where you stayed quiet, where you waited while others rushed. Those were not wasted moments. Those were the hours in which your strength was growing, where your strategy was forming, where the stage for your eventual triumph was being set. And now, when you claim what is rightfully yours, when victory finds you in its own time, it is sweeter than any noise could have made it. It is proof that patience, silence, and strategic thought are more powerful than desperation, speed, or loudness ever could be. And as you step into that victory, remember this: the world will never understand how you did it. They will never see the hours you spent waiting, the moments you endured without recognition, the choices you made in quiet that ensured your success. They will only see the outcome, and they will wonder how it happened, how someone so quiet, so unassuming, could end up with everything. And in that wonder, in that confusion, lies your power. They will never know what it feels like to hold the strings while pretending not to care. They will never know the thrill of watching their own actions work to your advantage. They will never understand what it means to be a master of silence. You see, life is not fair. Life is not loud. Life rewards those who wait, those who understand, those who move at the right time. And in understanding that, you hold the key to every outcome. You do not need to fight. You do not need to force. You only need to exist with clarity, to watch with patience, to act with precision. That is how you always know where it ends. That is how you step into victory without anyone realizing it was theirs to give all along. Now, imagine the look on their faces when they finally understand. The ones who doubted, who ignored, who underestimated, they will finally see the truth. But by then, it will not matter. You will have already moved forward. You will have already taken what was always meant to be yours. And in that moment, in the quiet aftermath of your triumph, there is a satisfaction that no applause could ever match. It is the quiet acknowledgement of your own power, your own intelligence, your own mastery of life. It is the understanding that victory does not require noise, only strategy. That patience is a weapon, and silence is strength. And so, whenever you doubt yourself, Whenever the world tries to pull you into its chaos, remember this. You do not need to scream to be heard. You do not need to fight to win. You do not need to compete to conquer. The quiet ones always prevail. The patient ones always triumph. The unseen ones always leave a mark. They may not know it now. They may not understand it now, but they will eventually see, and when they do, it will be too late. You played silent, and they handed you victory. Look around you. Look at the world rushing past, screaming for attention, desperate for acknowledgement, hungry for applause. Every person who tries to force their way forward, every person who believes that shouting, pushing, and proving themselves is the key to success. They are walking into a trap of their own making. They fail to see the truth. The real power does not announce itself. It does not fight for recognition. It does not bend to the chaos that surrounds it. It waits, it watches, it grows. And when the moment comes, it strikes without warning, claiming what it was always meant to claim. Imagine yourself in that moment, the moment when everyone around you is exhausted, frustrated, defeated by their own impatience, and you, calm, collected, and unwavering, step forward. The world does not know it yet, but victory has been yours all along. Every choice you made, every second you waited, every act of restraint, it all leads to this instant. They handed it to you without realizing it. They built the stage for your success with their own noise, their own haste, their own misjudgments. And in that quiet, powerful space, you finally see it. All this time, the path was yours. You only needed to hold still. You only needed to play silent. Think about the strength it takes to be invisible while the world moves around you in chaos. To watch while others stumble. To wait while others rush. To remain calm when everyone else is screaming for attention. That strength is not obvious. It does not appear on the surface, but it is there. In your silence, in your patience, in the way you hold yourself while the world underestimates you. And it is the kind of strength that never fades. It does not rely on temporary approval, on fleeting applause, on validation from those who do not understand. It relies on you, on your awareness, on your ability to know, even when no one else does, how this story will end. Now, consider this. How often have you rushed? How often have you felt the pressure to act, to prove, to fight? And yet, every time you held back, every time you waited, every time you allowed others to show their true nature, you were preparing. You were building. You were creating the circumstances in which victory would arrive without struggle. And that is the brilliance of playing silent. While the world is trapped in noise, you are free. Free to see the patterns. Free to act with precision. Free to claim what they cannot even imagine. They will never understand it. They will never understand the calm confidence of someone who knows exactly where the end is. They will never comprehend the satisfaction of seeing the chaos around you collapse while you remain untouched, unshaken, unstoppable. And yet, that is where your power lies, in the invisibility of your strategy, in the quiet inevitability of your success. You do not need to fight them. You do not need to argue with them. You do not need to shout or prove anything. They give you victory willingly, unknowingly, beautifully. And when you take it, it is more than a win. It is a testament to your mastery of patience, perception, and timing. Imagine a world where everyone learned this lesson too late, where every opponent, every skeptic, every voice of doubt had already played their part in your ascent. You watch, almost with amusement, as they realize that their own actions, rushed, reckless, desperate, only paved the way for your triumph. And you smile, quietly, because you knew all along. You always knew where it ends. You always knew that those who rush fall behind, that those who shout are drowned by their own noise, that those who act without understanding their environment are the ones who create the opportunity for the patient, the observant, the silent. Victory is not about who fights the hardest. Victory is not about who speaks the loudest. Victory is not about who struggles the most. Victory is about who waits. Victory is about who observes. Victory is about who understands the game, the players, the rhythm of life itself. And you, by playing silent, by embracing restraint, by trusting your own awareness, have stepped into that power. The world handed it to you without realizing it, and that, my friend, is the most powerful kind of triumph. Ask yourself, how many times have you seen someone else win because they shouted the loudest, because they pushed the hardest, because they demanded recognition? And how often have you felt invisible, overlooked, underestimated? That feeling is not weakness, it is preparation. It is the moment before mastery. It is the calm before the storm that only you control. Every hour spent waiting, every moment spent observing, every second you endured without attention, it all contributes to a final act that no one can dispute. You played silent, and they handed you victory. Now, hold that thought and expand it. Think bigger. Think beyond the small victories of today, the subtle triumphs of yesterday. Think of the life you can build if you always remember this strategy, if you always trust the power of patience, if you always embrace the quiet mastery that others cannot see. The opportunities you will claim, the paths you will walk, the triumphs that will follow you, they are all shaped by your understanding of silence, strategy, and inevitability. They are all yours to take because you understood something that the world still refuses to acknowledge. The loud never last, the reckless never prevail, the impatient never finish. Only the quiet, the patient, the aware, they inherit everything. And in this inheritance lies freedom. The freedom to move as you wish, the freedom to act without fear of judgment, the freedom to claim what others cannot even imagine. They handed it to you without a fight, without challenge, without warning. And in that gift lies the ultimate lesson. Life rewards those who understand the rhythm of events, who wait for the perfect timing, who move when all else has failed. You are that person. You always were. And now, the world will see it, not in words, not in noise, not in struggle, but in the undeniable reality of your success. Have you ever noticed how the world underestimates the quiet ones, the ones who sit back, who listen, who absorb everything before speaking a word, before making a move, before showing a trace of strength? They call it invisibility. They call it weakness. They call it nothing at all. And yet, in that nothing, there is everything. Every glance they miss, every word they overlook, every careless step they underestimate, it all builds the framework for your success. And you, standing in silence, are like a sculptor shaping your masterpiece out of the chaos around you. The world believes it is random, messy, uncontrolled, but you know better. You see the patterns, you feel the timing, you know the end long before anyone else does. Think of all the times you waited while others acted rashly, all the moments when you held your tongue while others shouted, all the times you observed quietly while the world was in motion. That is not passivity, that is preparation, that is strategy, that is patience turning into inevitability. Every person who mocked you, who doubted you, who ignored you, they unknowingly participated in your triumph. Every careless decision they made, every misstep, every rush forward. They paved the road straight to your victory. And the best part, they never even realized it. They handed it to you willingly, unknowingly, perfectly. Now, imagine this. Picture a scenario from your own life, perhaps in school, perhaps among friends, perhaps in your family. Someone doubted you, someone ignored your presence. Someone assumed they were ahead, they were in control, they were the winners. And while they rushed, while they acted impulsively, you stood still. You watched, you understood, you waited. And then, at the exact right moment, everything shifted. The outcome became clear. The path opened before you. They had built it, they had prepared it, they had unknowingly handed you everything. And in that moment, when the realization hits, when the world finally notices, it is too late. You are already beyond it. Ladies and gentlemen, gather close. Let's talk about the arrogance of those who play with fire and then act shocked when they get burned. They took you for granted, you see. They treated your kindness as if it were infinite, as if your love and your patience had no boundaries, no limits, no end. They tested your resilience time and time again, pushing you to the edge, expecting you to fold, but you didn't. You held your ground, and now, look at them. Their delusional minds thought your love could withstand their relentless abuse. They believed your heart would remain intact while they trampled over it, and now they're surprised to see that the ground they walked upon has turned to ashes. They thought they could keep pushing you further, testing your limits until you broke. But here's the truth. They underestimated you. They underestimated your power. They thought your forgiveness was a weakness, but it was a weapon they couldn't comprehend. Because while they used your love as a crutch, they didn't realize it was you who had the strength to stand tall without them. And now, they're faced with the consequences of their actions. The reality is, they built their empire on your suffering, and now that empire is crumbling beneath the weight of their own destruction. And they thought they would get away with it, didn't they? They thought you would stay forever trapped in their cycle of abuse, their manipulation, their lies. And the worst part is, they didn't care. They didn't care about the toll it took on you. They didn't care about the pieces of you they ripped away without a second thought. They didn't care that they were suffocating your soul. And here you are, stronger than ever, because you realized your worth and you refused to let their darkness consume you. You see, it's not that you didn't love them. It's not that you didn't try. It's not that you weren't there when they needed you. It's that they took everything for granted and they never truly understood the value of what they had until it was too late. They thought they could keep demanding from you. They thought you would keep giving and giving without ever needing anything in return. They never saw the damage they were doing. They never saw the cracks they were creating in your spirit, until one day they looked around and found that the light in you had dimmed. And now they're wondering why. They're wondering how the fire that once burned so brightly has been reduced to smoke. They're wondering where that person went. Who would have done anything for them? Who would have fought for them? Who would have loved them unconditionally? But here's the thing. Their delusion was their downfall. They couldn't see the reality of their actions. They thought they could take from you forever, without consequence. But life isn't kind to those who take without giving. It's not a fair game to play with love, as though it's something you can just take and toss aside when it no longer suits you. But that's exactly what they did. They took your love, they took your trust, and they thought you would always be there to give. They never realized that there comes a moment when enough is enough. They never understood that the human heart is not an endless well, and that there comes a time when you stop giving and you start protecting yourself. And when that time came, you stopped giving You stopped fighting. You stopped trying because you realized that no matter how hard you fought, they wouldn't change, they wouldn't grow, they wouldn't learn, and they wouldn't appreciate the value of what they had until it was gone. They took your heart for granted, and now they'll never get it back. And the worst part is, they'll never understand why. They'll never understand that their own actions led to their downfall. They'll never see how their own arrogance, their own entitlement, their own delusions of control and power over you created the person they never expected. They never expected you to walk away. They never expected you to break free. They never expected you to have the strength to leave when they thought they had you trapped in their web of lies and manipulation. But you did. You did break free, and now they're left with the consequences of their own mistakes. But here's the most important thing. The most powerful thing you can do now is to stand tall and walk forward with your head held high, because you are no longer the person they thought you were. You are no longer the person who would let them walk all over you. You are no longer the person who would sacrifice their own happiness and well-being for the sake of someone who never truly cared about you. You are the person who knows their worth and understands that love doesn't come with strings attached. Love isn't something to be used and discarded. Love is something to be cherished. It's something to be nurtured, and it's something to be given freely, but only to those who deserve it. And they didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve you. They didn't deserve the endless patience, the unrelenting support, the unwavering loyalty. They didn't deserve the depth of your love. But they took it anyway, and now they're left with nothing but the ashes of what they destroyed. And the worst part is, they'll never get it back. They'll never get another chance to make it right. They'll never get another chance to prove that they can change, because they've burned that bridge. They've destroyed that chance with their own hands. But here's the thing. You're not the same person you were before either. You've learned, you've grown, you've become stronger and wiser. You've learned that some people are only in your life for a season, and that their purpose is to teach you something, to show you your own strength, to remind you that you are worthy of love, but that love starts with yourself. And when you finally realize that, when you finally understand your own value, you'll stop settling for the scraps that others throw your way. You'll stop letting people treat you as if you're expendable, because you are not. You are not expendable. You are not replaceable. You are not some object that can be used and discarded when someone no longer needs you. You are a person, a human being, with emotions and dreams and goals, and a heart that deserves to be treated with respect and love. And anyone who cannot see that does not deserve to have a place in your life. But here's the beauty of it all. Even after everything you've been through, you're still standing. You're still here. You've survived the darkness. You've survived the manipulation, the lies, the abuse, and you've come out stronger on the other side. And that's what they'll never understand. They'll never understand how you survived. They'll never understand the depth of your strength, the power of your resilience, and the force of your will. They'll never understand that their own actions brought them to this point. And you've taken back your power. You've walked away from their darkness, and you've embraced the light that is within you. You are not a victim of their cruelty. You are the victor of your own life, and that is something they will never take from you again. And now, as you stand tall and reclaim the pieces of yourself that they tried to shatter, something powerful happens. You realize that you were never as broken as they hoped you would be. They thought you'd fall apart, that the weight of their abuse would crumble you, but instead, it forged you. It made you stronger than you ever thought possible. You were tested in ways most could never even imagine, and you survived. Not only did you survive, but you thrived. You found a way to rise above the darkness they tried to pull you into, and now you're a force to be reckoned with, They thought your heart would always be a soft, forgiving place for them, a place they could run back to whenever they needed comfort without ever earning it. They thought you would forever be their emotional punching bag, that they could mistreat you without consequence, and you'd always take them back. But here's the thing, they forgot one crucial detail. Even the strongest hearts have limits. Even the most patient souls have a breaking point. And you reach that point. You found that line in the sand. And once you stepped over it, there was no turning back. They never understood that love isn't meant to be a tool for exploitation. Love is meant to be a bond, a mutual exchange, something that nurtures and uplifts both people involved. And if they couldn't see that, if they couldn't honor that, then it was their own loss. The harsh reality is that people who manipulate and mistreat others rarely change on their own. Their behavior is rooted in a deep-seated arrogance, an unshakable belief that they are entitled to everything, including your love and your devotion. But let me make this clear. They are not entitled to you. They never were. You gave because you wanted to, not because they deserved it. You loved because it was in your nature to love deeply and fiercely. But their inability to value that love is what ultimately drove them to destroy it. They didn't have the maturity to understand that love isn't something you can take for granted or abuse without consequences. And now, as you stand free from their grip, you realize that their absence isn't a void, it's a liberation. And here's the truth they'll never admit. They don't know how to love. They've never truly known what it means to cherish another person, to be selfless, to put in the effort required for a healthy, meaningful relationship. They only know how to take. They only know how to manipulate, control, and tear down. They thought your love was something to exploit for their own benefit, but in the end, it was their downfall. And as they sit in the wreckage of their own making, they're starting to realize the truth. They've lost something invaluable, something they can never get back. They took your love for granted, and now they'll never have it again. They didn't just lose you, they lost the part of themselves that they would never have without you. They destroyed the one thing that could have helped them grow, helped them become better, helped them heal. And they did it all out of pride, out of arrogance, out of the delusion that you would always be there, always forgiving, always understanding. But you're done with that. You're done giving yourself to someone who doesn't appreciate you. You're done allowing someone to drain you of everything you have to give. The truth is, they couldn't see the treasure they had until it was too late. And now, they are left with nothing but the cold, empty reality of their own actions. They thought they were in control, that they could dictate the terms of the relationship. But in the end, it was you who held the real power. It was you who chose when enough was enough. It was you who decided that your love would no longer be a tool to be used, but a force to be respected. And now, they must live with the consequences of their ignorance, their selfishness, their refusal to see what they had before it was gone. And that is your victory. But let me ask you something. As you look back on what happened, what do you see? Do you see the mistakes you made? The times you gave more than you should have? The times you forgave when you shouldn't have? Yes, you were too kind, too patient, too willing to love, even when it wasn't returned. Yes, you gave too many chances to someone who didn't deserve them. But guess what? That's not your fault. That's a reflection of your heart, of your capacity to love, of your unwillingness to turn your back on someone, even when they've hurt you. And while it's true that sometimes you have to learn to let go, to walk away, to protect yourself from further harm, don't ever let anyone convince you that your kindness was a weakness. Your kindness was your strength. It was a gift, not just to them, but to yourself. You gave because you wanted to, and you should never regret that. But here's the lesson. Don't let that kindness turn into self-doubt. Don't let it cause you to question your worth. The mistakes you made were not a reflection of your value. They were simply part of your journey. They were part of the process that led you to this moment, the moment when you realized you don't need anyone who doesn't appreciate you. You don't need anyone who doesn't see your worth. You don't need anyone who can't meet you halfway. And now that you know that, now that you understand your own strength and resilience, nothing can hold you back. You are free, you are powerful, you are enough, just as you are. And what about them? What about the ones who mistreated you? The ones who took your love for granted, who played with your heart like it was a toy? Well, they will live with the consequences of their actions, whether they ever admit it or not. They will carry the weight of their choices with them for the rest of their lives. They may try to convince themselves that it wasn't their fault, that they were justified in their behavior, that you were somehow to blame. But deep down, they know the truth. They know they lost something precious. They know they took your love for granted, and that knowledge will haunt them. They'll have to live with the fact that they let someone who loved them unconditionally slip away, that they destroyed something beautiful through their own arrogance and selfishness. But that's not your problem anymore. And so, as you move forward, don't look back. Don't let the past define you. Don't let the scars they left on you become a part of your identity. You are not the pain you've endured. You are not the mistakes you've made. You are not the wounds they inflicted upon you. You are the person who survived it. You are the person who stood up, who fought back, who broke free. You are the person who refused to let their abuse define your future. And that is something to be proud of. As you walk away from them, remember that your journey is yours alone. It's not about them anymore. It's about you. It's about reclaiming your power, your peace, your sense of self. It's about remembering who you are and what you deserve. You deserve love. You deserve respect. You deserve happiness. And anyone who cannot give you that is not someone you need in your life. So, keep moving forward. Keep walking toward your future, toward the life you deserve, and leave behind the ones who never valued you. They will never understand the depths of your strength, the power you found in yourself when you had nothing left to give. But you know, don't you? You know that you are capable of greatness. You know that you are worthy of everything you've ever dreamed of. And now you're going to get it. You're going to find the love you deserve. You're going to find the respect, the joy, the peace that was always meant for you. And when they look back at you, when they realize what they've lost, remember this: you were never meant to be their stepping stone. You were meant to soar. And now, nothing can stop you. In the end, they will understand that your love wasn't something they could abuse without consequences. It was a gift, and now it's gone. But you're just getting started, and the world won't know what hit it when you unleash the full power of who you are. You've been through the worst of it. You've endured pain that was unimaginable, suffering that no one should ever have to experience. You gave everything you had to someone who only used you for their own selfish needs. And when you finally reached the end of your rope, when you finally decided to stop sacrificing your happiness for them, they were stunned. They thought you were too weak to leave. They thought they could continue to control you, to keep you trapped in their world of deceit, their world of abuse. But what they failed to realize was that the strength they thought you lacked had been growing inside you all along. They mistook your kindness for weakness, but what they didn't see was the quiet power that burned beneath the surface of your soul. It wasn't just kindness that kept you holding on. It was love. It was love so deep and unyielding that you kept giving even when it hurt. It was love that made you believe in the best of them, even when their actions told a different story. You believed in them, even when they couldn't believe in themselves. You fought for them, even when they refused to fight for you. You put their needs before yours, even when you were left with nothing. You sacrificed everything for them, and what did you get in return? Nothing but heartache, betrayal, and abuse. But here's the cruel truth they will never understand. Your love was never meant to be used up and thrown away. Your love was a gift that they took for granted, a gift that they didn't recognize the value of until it was gone. And now that you're gone, they're left with nothing but regret and the harsh reality that their own actions have stripped them of the one thing they never truly deserved. They thought they had you, that they could keep you in their life forever. But the truth is, they were never deserving of the love you gave them. They never had the capacity to appreciate it. As they sit in the wreckage of their own making, trying to convince themselves that they're the victims, they'll never be able to truly understand the depths of their mistakes. They'll never be able to see the full scope of the damage they'll inflicted upon you. They'll never know how much you sacrificed, how much you gave, and how much it cost you to try and make things work with someone who wasn't capable of seeing your worth. The truth is, they were never capable of truly loving you because they didn't even know how to love themselves. And now, they'll be haunted by that truth for the rest of their lives. And as for you, as you stand here today, free from the chains they tried to wrap around your heart and soul, you're no longer the person you once were. You are not the same person who allowed them to walk all over you, to mistreat you, to use you and abuse you without consequence. You are not the same person who stayed silent while they tore you down, while they ignored your needs and took everything from you. You are not the same person who believed their lies, who gave them second chances, who kept hoping things would change. That person is gone. That person has been replaced by someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who knows their worth. You have learned the hard way that love is not something to be taken lightly. Love is not something to be used as a weapon. Love is not something that can be exploited without consequence. You have learned that love should be mutual, that it should be nurturing, that it should uplift both people involved. And when it's not, when it's one-sided, when it's toxic, when it becomes a tool for manipulation and control, then it's time to walk away. You have learned that walking away from someone who doesn't value you is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's a sign that you value yourself enough to say no more. And now, as you walk forward, you carry with you the scars of the past, but you also carry with you the wisdom that those scars have given you. You carry with you the knowledge that you will never again allow someone to take you for granted. You will never again allow someone to tear you down, to make you feel small, to make you feel worthless. You know now that you are worthy of respect. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of all the happiness and joy that this world has to offer, and you will no longer settle for less than that. They tried to break you. They tried to take everything from you. They tried to strip you of your dignity, your self-worth, your spirit. But they failed, because in the end, it wasn't them who had the power. It was you. You held the power all along, even when you didn't realize it. They couldn't break you, because they didn't have the strength to do so. They didn't have the strength to break someone as resilient, as fierce, as powerful as you. And now that you know that, now that you understand the depth of your own strength, nothing can stop you. You are unstoppable. They may try to come back. They may try to beg for forgiveness. They may try to manipulate you once again with their empty promises, their false words. But you know better now. You know that they will never change. You know that they will never treat you the way you deserve to be treated, and you will not fall for it. You will not fall for their lies, their games, their manipulation. You will not give them another chance to destroy you. And even if they never understand what they lost, even if they never acknowledge the pain they caused you, it doesn't matter. You know your worth. You know that you are deserving of so much more than they could ever offer. And now, you are free. Free to live the life you were meant to live. Free to love the way you deserve to be loved. Free to find happiness and peace and joy without the shadow of their abuse hanging over you. The truth is, this journey has changed you. It has shaped you into someone stronger, someone more aware of who you are and what you want from life. You have learned how to trust yourself again, how to rely on your own strength and resilience. You have learned that you are enough, just as you are. You have learned that you do not need anyone's approval, anyone's validation, anyone's love in order to be complete. You are whole on your own. You are complete on your own. And anyone who wants to be in your life must see that, must respect that, must value that. As you continue on your journey, remember this: the person you were before, the person who gave everything to someone who didn't deserve it, that person was not weak. That person was not foolish. That person was simply someone who believed in the goodness of others, someone who loved deeply, someone who cared. And that is something to be proud of. You loved with all your heart. And while they may have taken that love for granted, you now know that your love is a gift that you will no longer give to anyone who doesn't deserve it. So, let go of the past. Let go of the pain, the guilt, the shame. Let go of the people who hurt you, the people who abused you, the people who didn't care enough to see your worth. Let go of them because they are not worth your time, your energy, your love. And walk forward into the future with confidence, with strength, with the knowledge that you are enough, that you are worthy of everything you've ever dreamed of, and that you will never again settle for less than you deserve. The road ahead may not always be easy, but it will be yours. It will be your journey, and you will walk it with your head held high, knowing that you are stronger than anything that comes your way. You have survived the worst, and now you're going to thrive. You're going to rise up, stronger than ever, and nothing will stand in your way. Not the pain of the past, not the people who tried to tear you down, not the darkness that once surrounded you. You are light. You are power. You are everything you need to be. And when they look at you, those who once mistreated you, those who once took everything from you, they will see something they never saw before. They will see your strength. They will see your power. And they will realize that the love they lost was never meant for them. It was meant for someone who would cherish it, someone who would protect it, someone who would respect it, and that someone is you. And as for them, they will have to live with the consequences of their actions. They will have to carry the weight of their mistakes, the weight of their regrets. They will have to live with the knowledge that they lost someone who could have loved them unconditionally, who could have been their partner, their equal. And in the end, they will realize that the love you gave them was the greatest thing they ever had, and they threw it away. But that's not your burden to carry anymore. You have moved on. You have found your strength, and now you are free. So, step forward into your future. The world is waiting for you. It's waiting for the person you have become, the person who is no longer afraid to stand up for themselves, the person who knows their worth. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever make you doubt that again. You are enough. You always were.